what was I gonna say? Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, so he fell apart like a while ago, and even when my sisters were
Right.
living there, I guess.
And did he ever get? So he's still drinking.
Yes, heavily. Like every day, wakes up, drove
How
himself
is
to
he not
oblivion.
dead?
Exactly, and that's what everyone was wondering. Like, is he?
How
And he
old is
did.
he?
He's younger. He was younger than he was like 7 years younger than my mom. So he's like I think he just turned 70, 69, 70, something like that.
Still, that's
Yeah. No,
to
it's.
not have his liver has to be just
Oh my God,
absolutely
it's crazy.
destroyed.
All my sisters were all asking the same thing. We're like, how is this possible?
How's he not dead?
Oh shit, that's not right. That's not right. Um,
Have I become a little too shy for love? I've been hurt before. All's fair in love and war. So I snuggle up close to the shell I'm living in. And if I let you in, another round begins. No, I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side.
Should I be scared? The feeling's so different now. You got me floating here, a feather in the air. Oh, but when the wind blows, will I tumble or sail away? Or would you have me stay? And what if I escape? I know
I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side, by your side. I'm not afraid. We found something that'll never fade. We can be ourselves and figure out the rest along the way. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side. I need you by my side. I need you by my side. I came up short today. Feels like I fell 1,000 times. Nothing but doubt to flood my mind. 'Cause sometimes it's hard hard to remember why I ever started racing with my dreams. A restless December, feeling I was meant for more than I believed. I'll never surrender, rather try and fail and fall a million times. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I know as close as I am now, I will struggle, I will shout. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way.
Boom. We are officially live. What's going on, everybody? Sorry we were live before. I hope you didn't hear anything too incriminating. What's up, but
Yeah.
we are here again this week. Hopefully, I didn't disclose my social security number and all my bank accounts like I normally do to Green Pants.
Well, we normally talk passwords, right before we go
That's
on air.
the
So
code.
that's
Right.
Yeah, make sure.
I'm like,
Yeah,
hey, if you're gonna take that mortgage on my name, here's the bank ID you want to use.
right. What's the CCV on that? I need the 3-digit code. on the back,
Exactly,
please.
exactly. So when you commit fraud, you can.
Right. Well, it's a lot easier to commit fraud when you have all the info.
Oh,
like
totally
I'm
agree.
saying, like it's just it's one of those things.
Totally agreed. But welcome everyone tonight. We are here with our regular Tuesday segment. It's called Okay Seriously, and this is the place where you ask us questions and we give you answers. So if you want to submit your own questions, we have some pre-submitted questions that we're going to be diving into tonight. If you want to submit your own, check it on the Twitch page. You'll see it down the link down in the About area. So please send on your questions. We love them. We love to help. That's why we're here.
I mean, I live for this.
No,
I
it's
have
great.
absolutely no qualifications. There's no reason anyone should, pay attention or believe anything I say, but I love saying it, and just, because I go to bed going, I helped the person, whether I did or not.
There you go. It's whatever we need to tell ourselves to sleep at night. That's what it is.
Exactly.
But to be fair, that's a fair point. We are not legal professionals in any way, shape, or form, or to give legally to provide any kind of legitimate, psychological or any kind of other, really kind of any advice, Just about very narrow set of
Well,
topics.
I mean, my particular profession, I would say I could give some advice in
Technically
there,
qualified,
but
yes.
yeah,
Yep.
but I have always been, actually, I don't want to be one of those people that's like, you know what, I can read a person. When they walk into a room within 5 minutes, like I know them. I'm like, you're an asshole, and you have no idea. Like you're just someone who's like really judgy.
Like, judgy. I have to admit that I do that. I walk into a room and I'm like, oh, cool, dick. Jackass. Oh, he abuses his wife. I'll have like a whole scenario.
Wow.
That's by seeing somebody. Yeah, I'll have kind of figured out.
Wow, you
Like,
have an
their marriage
entire-
isn't gonna last, and then I'll sort of like size all that, and it's so judgy of me, and I know that, but it's kind of a thing I do. I don't know why.
Well, listen, this isn't where we help you. This
True,
is
we're here
where
to help.
we
We're here to
jump
help
in.
our
So
viewers.
we should get to the first question.
Let's do it, absolutely. So, by the way, Super J, if you're still here, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome to the party. Like I said, if you got any questions, please kind of forward them in. So let's get to our first question. Let me pop it up here. All right, here we go. This is a long. Folks are giving us a little more descriptive text now. So the text I'll read is not the text you see. You're seeing an abbreviated version, but I'm gonna get all the details here. So
It's good. It gives us context.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of when there's no context, it's difficult to.
Because then we wind
really
up
have any
playing the
idea.
guessing game a lot. You know what I mean? We wind up
Yeah.
guessing, and this is like nobody wins. So this one comes from Clara from Bugtussle, Kentucky, which I truly believe is a place. And Clara asks, let's see, I'm a new parent of a 2-month-old. My husband and I don't have anyone in our state. In Kentucky.
Oh, Clara's actually from Wankers Corner, Oregon. I have.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I get Clara's location right?
Yes.
Maybe I messed up the
Yeah, Clara's from Wikers Corner, Oregon.
Wikers
I think that's it. That's when then.
Clara, Oregon. I love it.
I mean,
All right, Clara. Sorry about that. So you're in Oregon. So
I
Clara's
haven't
in
been there,
Oregon.
but I've heard it's great.
It's probably a fantastic town. Nice people.
I'm so glad there's a whole like place for them there. That's
That's
great.
right. That's right. Okay, so
Cool
Clara.
place to do it.
So Clara asks, I am a new parent of a 2-month-old. My husband and I don't have anyone in our state we are close with because we moved here a year ago for my husband's job. Okay, that happens. It's been hard because all of our family is back in Ohio, where we're originally from. We have no support system, and my husband has gone back to work. So it's just been me taking care of our son during the day. When my husband gets home, he barely helps me with the baby. Instead, he sits on the couch and claims he's too tired because he works all day. I feel like I'm a single mother at this point. He never gets up during the night for the baby because he says he needs to sleep and go to work with a sound mind. I want to say I understand where he's coming from, but I can't. We mutually decided that we want to have a child together and should therefore both be taking care of our son. What should I do to get my husband to engage with our son more? Clara.
Okay.
Hmm.
Let me say, just from the outset, that objectively, your husband is a giant douche. Full stop. That said, you're gonna need to talk to your husband and gently explain that family dynamics have somewhat evolved since the Eisenhower administration. To ask to that he, for him to say he needs a sound mind, like he needs a sound mind with yeah, like, and you don't and like it is so hard for a woman when they first have a baby that you don't go insane while you're basically just trying to care for this baby human.
Right.
So whatever job you have is ridiculous. I mean, but in terms of practical advice, like you have one kid. So if you have one kid, sleeping can be fixed. But you have to take turns with him. Like
Yep.
it's half his responsibility, you know. So
Do you think half?
I don't care if he's tired. He's tired all day. I don't care unless he works in like a 17th century coal mine. Like I'm sorry, like no,
Predating
like
the Eisenhower administration.
he's not out back and breaking rocks out somewhere. Like he came home
Sure.
from his office job and he's like tired because he didn't have a second cup of coffee. Like fuck that.
Yeah. Wow. So okay. So I mean I agree with most of what you're saying, right? Like this should have been a conversation that should have happened before you had the baby, right? And it seemed like it didn't. You have to decide, okay, who's going to carry. Well, of course, a new parent, you never fully know what you're in for, right? Because it's always worse than you could possibly imagine.
Well, no, it's just
Super J like that.
A baby requires a lot.
Yeah.
It's like a lot. It's a constant thing.
It's a
So
ton of work.
to have a team, and there's certain things that the woman it needs to be there for, whether it be nursing or something like that. But there's like so much just logistical stuff that you can do as like the partner, whether it just be like changing diapers or like sleeping.
Right.
Like I actually got hooked on Doctor Who because that was my turn.
When it was your turn, you would hold the baby and watch Doctor Who.
Yeah, I would watch
Right.
Doctor Who, and I
right.
watched like 12 seasons of Doctor Who.
Nice. A common thing too that I hear is like I'll often talk to new moms and like they like I just want 5 minutes to pee. It's like little things like that, right? It's like
Right.
You literally can't leave the room when your child
Right,
is.
and even then they have to keep the door open,
Right.
Because it's like, well, we got it. Okay,
The meaning
can
is
I have
that. I know.
Yeah, it's
It's
like, yeah,
like- and it's not taking into account too though a lot of women
and yet we still have them. We still have these children, and the
Yes,
women
and-
continue.
somehow we do this.
the-
Why do we do this?
And the younger women see the older women, but they like, I want to do that too.
Right.
So
And the older, even if the older women explicitly tell them, "Don't do this," they do it anyway.
It's
Yeah.
like-
What was I gonna say? Oh, right. I mean, especially after a new baby, self care is super important for the mom too. Because you've basically been used.
Yeah.
To be blunt, you've been used as a vessel for delivering this child, and the toll on your body
Yeah.
and your mind and your it's a real thing.
You've been like a personal little baby oven,
Right.
like for him to just pop out of, and now you're like, okay, now switch all that from like internal to external.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
So,
and postpartum depression's a real thing, and it's often undiagnosed. Like women don't understand, new moms don't understand why they feel the way they do, and a lot of it's because of maybe something like that, right? So but with that said, so I'm agreeing. However, you said 50-50, and I'm not disputing it, but I'm putting out a question mark, right? I mean, if the father is the sole breadwinner and he works a 45 hour, 50-hour week job, right? He's literally not around 50% of the time, right? So are you saying like his every waking moment at home should be childcare?
No, I mean, no. What I'm saying is, the you picture it like like if your spouse is at work and you're like you're on maternity leave, well, instead of working, like you're taking care of the baby.
Right.
When your husband comes home, now, you know, when it's a time that it is not a standard work time, that's where you just split it 50-50. So for terms of sleeping, so from but I mean, and of course nothing is ever going to be that way, but if you're looking for equity, it's really like in the sleeping schedule, I think, because then when you're doing that, then you're doing all of the stuff that comes along with it, any other person, you know. So if you can do like giving your partner like a 6-hour shift, like that can mean like, you know, like if you're able to for 6 hours at some point be like, I am responsible for this and you don't have to worry about, you know, that it like
Right.
Not that that's easy or anything like that.
No,
saying,
of course
like,
it's not.
if that's possible, so like give it a shot. You know?
Raising a newborn is easy for no one, including the newborn. It's like,
right.
It's like a horrible situation. So,
once you learn like the basic stuff, it's not like it's not hard.
Right. And once the son gets into a routine, that's key too, right? If it's just like some kids are random or colicky or whatever, right? Up 2 hours, whatever. Once you get into a groove, it definitely you know, increases the easiness factor. Not that, again, raising a child is easy. But the one that I think what you said was spot on, right? So basically like kind of considering like, okay, if he is working during the day, that's his job. Her job is raising the child during the day. When he comes home, 50-50. And I think that's completely,
I mean that it seems to me to be something to strive for, and like if you're looking to have some sort of equitable situation, but you know,
for sure.
And
you need to split into that too. It's like I can't tell you how many new parents I talk to that say like, you know, it's like I just want to talk to an adult again. You know what I mean? I just want to be around an adult human that I can speak to. You know, it's like the little things you take for granted now is like huge.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. So great. So but here's the point of it.
Clara, just don't have another child with this man unless things drastically change. Like,
right.
Because
if this is how it is now, it ain't getting better if another one comes along.
Wow.
Right. With his involvement level. But is there anything Clara can do now? But I mean, you got to communicate with your husband and bring up this proposal, right?
Yeah,
so
that's
look,
really
your day job is this, my day job is this. When you're home, we got to be 50-50. I need some time. I need to decompress. I need to stare at the wall. I need to watch a stupid TV show. You know what I mean? All these kinds of things. It's like completely reasonable, and you need to have that conversation with him.
Right.
And with the context is like, look, we agreed to have a child, right? Again, not the Eisenhower administration, right?
Right.
Yes.
You know, and then it also gives you the time to bond with your kid too.
Right.
Like, so that's time you can't like. It's not time that you're like, you know. I mean, you're like holding a baby. It's like you're like, oh, okay, this is my kid. And you're just sitting there being like, oh, I created this. This is my child. You know. So, yeah, you're tired because you're just not sleeping. You know, doing all this stuff. But it's not like you're again doing backbreaking labor. It's just a lot. You know. You know.
100%. All right, so Clara, that's the advice. He's on the hook for 50% once he gets home from work, and you got to make that clear to him.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if they'll get all that, but we'll see.
Yep, that's the target to aim for. So we wish you luck. Let us know how it goes. But again, you know, if he's not willing to meet you there, like, you know, say, hey, I'm gonna move back home near my parents so they can help me with the kid. You're welcome to come or not, up to you. You know what I mean? Just throw the gauntlet down, see what he does.
That's only assuming that you have parents that are in the situation. I don't want to,
we didn't presume about the
Yeah.
parents, but we assume your parents are
Yeah.
willing to help. But yeah. Anyway, so cool. All right.
Moving on.
Moving on to our next one. So question 2. Let's see. So I found out my 11-year-old niece is streaming online with YouTube and has quite the following. She lied about how old she was so she could stream. Do I have an obligation to tell her parents, who I know have no clue as they're not technically savvy? Should I have a conversation with her about this? Should I just mind my own business? This comes from Alexander from Dignog, Texas. Alexander
Okay.
has a niece who's streaming on YouTube, 11 years old.
Okay. Okay. I think the first question is, has she monetized it? Like, because like
Does
like
that
okay,
change
well,
your
no.
answer if she's monetized?
No. My first thing is, I just want to make sure this isn't an OnlyFans situation. Okay. But
YouTube.
but like if she has created some sort of like, she's an incredible
Online
content
persona,
creator
you
like
mean?
these
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
today, like, yeah, what kind of content is she creating? Like, what are her Adobe Analytics metrics? Like, what's her audience engagement? Like, what, I need more info, Alexander. Like, that's not
Sure.
but I think it's very basically it's clear to say that the parents need to be informed about this. So I know you probably don't want to be like fucking Uncle Alexander who ruined the greatest thing I ever had going,
Right. Right.
type of thing. But like right now at 11, like her parents are legally responsible for all of the stuff that's
Absolutely.
happening.
Right. That's
They
the
can
thing.
go
When
to
you're-
jail.
When you're a minor, your parents are on the hook, and that's 100% true.
So it's not like,
up
oh,
really
keep
quick.
privacy. No, she's actively, like, you are actively committing crimes, letting the kid.
Right. Right. So under 13. Okay, I get it. Okay, so I just looked up the policy just so we're clear on it, right? So in order to stream on YouTube, you if you're under 13, you may not stream on YouTube, unless you're visibly accompanied by an adult. So,
Oh,
in my opinion, the go-to here is you tell the parents, you say this is something that's clearly important to her. Let's approach it in a constructive way, and then one of you could be on the stream with her while she's honing her craft, right? And instead of when she's 13, she can sort of roll with this, because it says he said Alexander said she has quite the following, so that means apparently
Right.
followers
That's what
and
I'm
is
saying,
good at
like-
it and all that other stuff, right? Hopefully, it's not something weird or pervy or anything. I hope, nothing.
I would not. No. They would have already had the like a task force in their house already. If she had a following on YouTube or something that was something inappropriate, that was clearly a child that was
Right.
doing.
It's
Like,
we're talking
Somebody within that following would have alerted somebody.
FBI raid.
Right.
It's like a
Right.
whole confiscation
Exactly.
of computer equipment. Yeah, no, I get
like,
you.
I'm
Parents
using
arrested
VPN.
again to
Yeah,
the point.
no.
Parents arrested to the point, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So Alexander, you
It'd be like,
absolutely.
and like, wait, you knew? Yeah, I just, I didn't.
Just
sorry.
try, right? Yeah, Alexander, you're potentially on the hook, so you got to watch yourself here. So you absolutely 100% unequivocally have to tell our parents, right? But
This is a no-brainer.
I do recommend this as a teaching moment and saying, look, it's something she wants to do. She's doing it. Let's see how we can support it in the both legal and constructive way, right? And then maybe, like I said, maybe a parent could be with her on the stream. She can continue doing what she's enjoying from there, right? And
Right.
assuming
Well, whatever
it's
she's got going, they haven't
legit.
kicked her off yet. But
right.
yeah,
Right.
hopefully she's just unboxing.
Right.
For some
Unboxing
reason that's
products. Yeah.
incredibly popular.
I'm reviewing this product for it's a
Or filming
American Girl
herself
doll or
react. Well, the reaction videos where you film yourself reacting to your reaction
True.
to it's
But isn't that an
it-
out? Because that video that person's watching could be incredibly inappropriate. It could be like horrible
Absolutely.
pornography and something, but you don't see it, so it doesn't matter. You're just seeing the person's
Right.
reaction to watching it.
right.
Yeah,
But most of the time they do show it and then they pause it and then the person like gives their feeling on
Right.
it or whatever and like
Right.
anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So
But-
dude, you have to.
I don't
tell-
care what it is, yeah.
You have to tell our parents.
Still though, I'm inspired by her entrepreneurial spirit.
Entrepreneurial spirit. Yes.
Her she's got lots of entrepreneurials in her.
Absolutely.
Like midichlorians.
And that's why I'm
yeah.
saying, like, trying to turn it into a lesson, right? So don't squash it. You know what I mean? If there's really that,
Yeah.
be creative. Like, try to see how you can foster it
Oh, yeah,
according
yeah,
to
yeah.
the terms of service of YouTube in a legal way.
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
constructive way, right?
Otherwise, yeah.
So you have to tell our parents. Bottom line. All right, Alexander.
Yep.
Thank you for the relative softball. That's good.
Yeah, yeah, that was not a tough one.
That's right. All right, there we go.
Buddy,
Move,
bud. Yeah,
move on to the next one. This Dan from French Lick, Indiana. French Lick, Indiana. That's not, Dan's fucking with us. French Lick, Indiana is an actual place. Is that true?
French Lick, Indiana is an actual place, yes.
Have you been there?
I have seen signs.
I see. I don't think I've ever been to Indiana, honestly.
Oh, I've been through it. Unfortunately, I mean, I haven't enjoyed it, but
Yeah.
I've been through it. I've been there on like a drive to Michigan. Kind of had to go that way through. I go Ohio and Indiana. It was unfortunate for everybody, but
Yeah. Nobody won.
we made it.
No. Oh, funny. Hey, Super J,
Right, so
by the
what's
way,
Dan's
thanks for the
deal?
comments tonight. So Dan's question, yeah, just giving a shout out to Super J there. Thanks for the positive reinforcement. So Dan from French Lick, Indiana's question is: it is the zombie apocalypse. You found yourself trapped in a McDonald's bathroom. You have a shotgun with 2 shells, a plunger, a roll of paper towels, toilet paper, mop, and other standard bathroom structures at your disposal. How do you get to your
Okay.
car outside if the dining area starts to fill with zombies? Dan wants to know. How do you get to your car?
Yeah, sadly, what constitutes standard bathroom fixtures in the United States is like 2 flimsy, like crappy walls and like a wet door hanging from a hinge. You know,
Maybe this
but
McDonald's franchisee, you know, maybe they care about their establishment, a reasonable door, maybe. I don't
they don't. Have you been to McDonald's that did this? I don't know. if
I've
anyone
been
recently.
in some nice McDonald's bathrooms. I think it depends where they are.
But
But yeah.
the positive thing is that in every McDonald's facility, the bathroom is relatively close to the door, to the exit, upcoming exit. Because if you
Is
normally
that
go into
true?
one, you can take an immediate right to go to the bathroom. So, what I
You
would
know what?
say
You're
is
right. So I would say what we're talking. Let's figure this out really quick. What did you say? 30 to 50 feet.
no, even less. Yeah, well,
I mean,
yeah,
I mean,
I'd
like
say about 30.
including the door. Depends where you parked.
Yeah,
But
I would say if it's one of those flimsy things,
Yeah.
you're actually in luck because
Mhm.
you could use that as like a combat shield. Because one of the other things that he said is that he's got a shotgun and 2 shells,
Yes.
so 2 well-aimed headshots, and maybe he lives another day. I don't know.
Right, and I'm
But,
thinking,
like,
well, it
yeah.
depends on if the shotguns are buckshot or slugs. Also, the buckshot
Right.
or birdshot rather.
Well, it depends it depends on the type of zombie and what is required to kill that particular undead.
Correct. I'm making an
Um,
assumption that it's your typical, you know, Romero kind of zombie that the head
Yeah.
removal or headshot is required for a full zombie east.
Oh, and I see this. The question's actually, if you found yourself trapped in the McDonald's. Yeah, so me personally, take off the door, use it as a shield, shotgun, whatever it is, deal with it in whatever shotgun situation that I have, and attempt to flee.
Okay.
Um,
I'm surprised.
what
I'm
would
pleasantly
what would-
surprised to hear this from you. Because your previous answer to zombie apocalypse is you would just put the shotgun in your own mouth and end your life.
Listen, this is a family program.
I mean, I think it's literally what you said last time we talked about zombie apocalypse.
Oh God, you're so right. Yeah, I would put a shotgun
Right?
in my mouth and
Right.
hit myself.
You have
Yeah,
2
yeah,
shells.
yeah.
You can even miss once. It's still gonna-
Listen, it's a hypothetical.
right.
I'm saying.
No,
like,
I'm saying I'm happy. I'm happy that you would fight to live in the zombie apocalypse. That pleases me. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I definitely. I'd get out of that. I'm not dying in a McDonald's bathroom. I can tell you that.
I'm choosing my place,
Fuck
and it ain't
that.
there.
Yeah, it's not there. You know,
Yeah,
I'm going out on my terms.
funny,
Expected that.
funny. How would I do it? I would do. Here's what I would do. I kind of have a plan. I
Right.
would go in the stall. Well, okay. How would I do this? I would super quick. All right, I get all my materials into the stall, into the actual, you know, stall.
What are your materials?
Like all the things that Dan lists here, like plunger, shotgun,
Right, but you
mop,
don't need any of
which
that.
is a lot. There's a mop pole. You can use it
Oh,
to
okay.
push things away, right? So I would use the mop. I would use the. I don't think the plunger. I think when you have the mop, you don't need the plunger, right? Because you only have so many hands and you're holding a
Right.
shotgun.
Right,
So-
exactly.
So
So you
hopefully,
only really use
I'm
one or
assuming
two
that
of those
if
things.
the shotgun does not have a strap, so
I was assuming it did not.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm even thinking like with the door, like you'd have to find a way to breaking off the
Right.
door, there wouldn't be an easy way to hold it.
Right.
But you
Exactly.
could, but what you could do if it was a zombie press, let's say like a zombie horde press, and you
Yes.
could use that and just keep pushing them back and not get bitten enough to get to the door.
Strong
like,
enough to do that? I mean, a
and
lot
get
of
out.
zombies, still full-size,
It-
full-weight humans.
Do we? I
know.
Yeah.
It's tough.
What is
It's
it?
tough.
Wait, do they tell us how big the zombie horde is?
No,
I
not
didn't see
really.
that in the question.
Well, what I was
so-
gonna get at was, so I would try to, if it didn't have a sling, the shotgun, I would try to fashion one from some of these materials. Maybe, I don't know, if you could do paper towels, you roll them up really tight and strong, and use it to somehow hold the shotgun along your shoulder, maybe, so it doesn't fall. I don't know, maybe.
No way, but yeah,
Probably not. Oh, you know what you can use the
Absolutely.
you know what you
That
can
would
use,
absolutely not work.
you take the strings off the mop, and you tie them together, and you can make a sling out of that.
That's gonna take a lot of time.
I guess.
And maybe and then you got to get them off. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would do that, and then use the mop handle as a weapon. So that'd be primary weapon 1, shotguns around my shoulder. What I would do is get in the stall. So what I would do is open the lock to the bathroom,
Okay.
get in the stall, like kind of look and assess the situation. There's a bunch of zombies like trying to kick the door in already. Get in the stall, lock the stall door, let them all come in. So now they're filing
Let them
into
all
the
come in?
bathroom. Yeah, exactly. Now they're in the bathroom.
Okay.
I would climb the top of the stall on top of the stall wall over
Okay.
that pile that's trying to get into the stall and book ass. 'Cause
Just like
the goal
with
is
the
to
shotgun? Or do you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
anything? You
Yeah, no, I'd bring the shotgun and maybe the mop if I could. Like I said, if I could keep the shotgun slung around my shoulders and hold the mop stick, then I can push them away as I'm going.
okay?
The idea is like to bring them in a grouping versus individual ones that will come
But
towards
you
you.
have to
So
hope that there's not because there's not just more in the lobby of the
not a ton
McDonald's.
more. Yeah, they tend to hoard.
Right, 'cause
You know what I
otherwise-
mean? When they
Right.
see noise or activity, they
Like-
tend to gather. That's what I'm
Right.
going with. That
But
hope.
a McDonald's bathroom not huge, so I would think if they're gathering,
know.
if you can't fit more than like 6 or 7 in there, the other
Yeah,
38 are
fair.
out there in Playland.
If that's
you
the
know,
case, if it's so many
you
that's
know,
going out the door, I
trying to
guess
eat
I would
Mayor
have to
McCheese.
shotgun the ones in the back to get him to make a space so I could jump down and try to make a run for
Yeah,
it.
you only have the twice. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I would go for. And then book the other car.
Yeah.
What's clear, if you have your key fob, unlock the door before you go. Very important.
Absolutely.
So,
Right, I think we got that
so
one.
damn, there you go. I think we nailed it.
That was yeah.
There's
mean-
the plan.
I don't know. That's we're well, hopefully I don't find out, but who knows.
That's right, because then nobody went. Zombie apocalypse sucks. All right, our next question. This comes from Alan from Greasy Corner, Arkansas. He asks, I recently went to Chicago on a business trip, and my colleagues took me out for what they called Chicago-style pizza. I'm fairly sure what I was served is called lasagna. Why does Chicago pretend to have their own kind of pizza when that right is clearly reserved for New York City? Damn. So this is a culture war issue. And we're not
Okay,
the first ones to tackle this.
Objectively, Chicago pizza is like chunky tomato soup in a bread bowl with like a glob of cheese on top. It's absolutely
Oh, it's
disgusting.
in a dish, though,
Like-
isn't it? It's in like a pan.
Yeah. So what? It's like they put the sauce like okay. The sauce goes on top of the cheese.
Yes.
So it's like the
Messy
correct
from the
order.
get-go.
Well, the correct order for pizza is
Bread.
you've got to have the bottom, and then you
Right.
put sauce, and you put cheese.
Yes.
But they don't do that,
Right.
and because they're from the seventh circle of hell, they basically smother like layers of
No, I hear you.
um,
I hear you.
it's like gross, like glob like
Right.
kind of Chicago.
I think it foils the whole fundamental purpose of pizza to your exact point, which is that the bread is your bottom containment layer that you actually pick up and hold. The cheese is the
Right.
top containment layer that stops the sauce from spreading everywhere. It makes a thing that you can pick up and shove in your mouth, right? That's the
Right.
beauty of pizza. Switching the layers around is kind of messed up. I'm not a fan of Chicago pizza. You have to eat it with a fork and knife, right? I think that's the only way.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, it's a safety hazard as well. Chicago pizza.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So when Jon Stewart from the Daily Show
Mhm.
wanted to, rightly defend the honor of New York as having like the actual best pizza, his take was that he doesn't want, pizza is what you eat when you're drunk, and so he does not want to drown in his pizza when he's drunk and
I see.
collapses face first into his pizza.
I see.
So, is pizza's number one function is to be hangover food. So any pizza that cannot serve that prime function and poses a literal safety hazard,
Yes.
like cannot possibly be considered pizza at all. I would say.
Okay. Fair. That's fair.
Chicago pizza is one of the worst catastrophes ever to befall the entire human race.
Just to be
Few
clear.
few things have resulted in as much human death and destruction as Chicago pizza. Also, it's fucking gross. Like it's
To top it off.
it's the moral imperative
Yeah.
of all good and moral people to loudly proclaim the superiority of New York pizza over all other pizzas.
Yeah.
Like Confederate flags or Nazi swastikas, Chicago deep dish pizza needs to be in a museum, if that.
Got
That's
it. Okay.
Yeah, I need this
I
to
don't-
happen.
I don't,
Stat.
I don't feel that strong as strongly. I do not like
No.
the Chicago style pizza. I'm not a fan of it. I would not eat it. I would not call it pizza either. That's part of my problem. Like
Exactly.
it's a dish of some. It's like I don't know, lasagna. I don't know. He called it lasagna. It's almost like a quiche. I don't know what the hell you would call it, but it's like.
Yeah, that's why in several of my examples, all of those are reasons that it's not pizza. It's just
Right.
like the experience of eating it is not the experience of eating anything I've ever called pizza.
Right.
So
And
I didn't have pizza. I had chunky soup in a bread bowl.
Chunky soup in a
with,
bread bowl.
like,
Maybe that's a
bunch
good way
of
to say
with globby cheese. But the cheese kind of goes first, and then they put the sauce, and then like the
Oh,
bread, because
weird,
it's like no, it's the bread, is the
Bread,
bread and
cheese,
the
sauce.
cheese, and then yeah.
messed
But
up.
it's like an inch thick of glob thing.
I remember
and then
that
the
Daily
sauce
Show
on
too.
top.
I remember that episode you're talking about where I don't remember who it was, the guy who brought the Chicago pizza for Jon Stewart, right? And Jon Stewart was
Yeah, some douchebag.
he was polite when he ate it, but you could tell he was like, "This is crap." he was
Yeah, I
was
mean,
being
he
very-
called it a safety hazard. Yeah. So
he did.
I
I
mean,
think I
that's
remember
he definitely
And- And the thing is for
It
you
was
and I too,
tough
because
there.
I think you grew up north of the New York City area, right? And I grew up in Central Jersey, which is also in the New York City area. So I was privileged to
I grew
be
up
able
in
to have-
California.
Well, I mean, like your later life.
And New York style pizza. Like when I grew up in California, it was like, oh, New York style pizza. Like that was the type of pizza that you had.
Right, but there's New York
Right,
style,
yeah.
but then there's pizza actually from New York, and it's outstanding. Probably the
And
best
it's its
pizza
own
ever.
thing.
Super
It is.
thin crust.
Yes,
it's
and I had had
so
it
good.
as well.
right.
Yes.
Um,
Oh yeah.
But what do you think about the intermediaries? So like, New York style, right? So you maybe have like slightly thicker crust, maybe it's made a little differently. It's how you would get in like Alabama or Boston or LA, or you know what I mean?
You would be able to identify it as pizza.
You can at least identify it as pizza. It's your point. Okay, I see.
Yeah, you'd be like, that's pizza. I mean, it's like great pizza, but it's pizza. I look at a Chicago pizza and I'm like, that's something else. I don't, because that's not a pizza.
Yeah.
First of all, it came in a dish. There you go, not a pizza.
And you handed me a fork and knife to eat it. It's just-
Right, exactly. And I'm unable to fold it,
Yeah.
and I could conceivably drown in it.
Going
Just
back to
saying.
if you're drunk part. Yeah, for sure. So like, but
Yeah,
Uno's,
like I said, a lot of human death and
the
destruction.
restaurant
Fine.
Uno's, they
Yeah.
serve Chicago style pizza, right? So you would never go to Uno's.
I don't think I've ever been to an Uno's.
Okay, you've
Actually,
never
now that I
been?
think about it, because I did not even know that.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I have not been.
Got it. All right.
No.
Good. So there we go. So
If that is
Yeah.
what they serve, then no. If I had accidentally walked into the Uno's and found out I was tricked into thinking I'd walked into a pizza place, then I would just walk out of that place.
Just leave
And
immediately.
I don't recall ever doing that with Uno's.
got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Cool. So Ellen, you're completely in the right here. I would say Chicagoans, any people from Chicago watching this, it's just don't call it pizza. Like if you want to have your own special kind of food that's like that deep dish whatever, fine.
Yeah,
But it's not pizza. It doesn't compare to the way pizza's made elsewhere. That's our big complaint. I think it's
Well, it blurred.
you're entitled to your
Blurred.
local cuisine, and that's
Yeah.
okay, right? So, but yeah, not a fan, and it shouldn't be called pizza. But I think we agree on that.
Yeah.
So there we go. Hey,
Absolutely.
Super J, by the way, I figured out who you are. I figured out your code name. So we have Super J 5976 is on the chat, who's been dropping a couple messages, and is a good friend of ours who
Oh, okay.
will not reveal the true name, of course. But
Oh, okay. No, absolutely. Quite frankly, I don't want to know. I
There you go.
don't know who would actually watch us.
There's,
'Cause
there's liability
who would
issues
watch
if you
us?
know
That's-
right? Who would watch.
Yeah,
us.
that's just. I feel like really.
That's right.
Um,
Right.
Right.
Hey, we're on our last question. Here we go. So,
Okay, question 5.
yeah, this question I definitely had to abbreviate because it's a pretty long descriptive. I'll read the whole thing, but I'll give you the abbreviated version on
Okay.
the screen here, so people who are just coming in can reference it. So, okay. On a family trip to South Florida this summer, my wife and I agreed to take our 2 children, who are 12 and 14, parasailing. Okay. My wife was apprehensive, but the kids really wanted to do it, so she relented. We went with a local outfit that offered parasailing trips, and they took us out in a speedboat. Typically, how parasailing's done. One of the tricks they do while parasailing is to cut the engine suddenly, and the person in the parachute finds himself heading downward, and it really turns the adrenaline. They do it unexpectedly. They are then supposed to turn the engine back on quickly, and then you go stable back up in the air again. Well, with my wife, they left the engine off until half her body was submerged in the water, and when they suddenly took off again, my wife's top popped off. My wife popped out of the water like a cork minus her top. So she lost her top. It was honestly the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. My wife,
I'm sure it
however,
was.
my wife, however, does not feel the same way and wants to sue the parasailing company. How can I convince my wife to let it go and not waste money on a lawsuit? This question comes from Tony from Good Grief, Idaho. Tony, I believe you probably signed a waiver before you got on the parasailing boat, so I think legal
Those
options are
parasailing
limited.
waivers are like ironclad.
Yes, because
Like,
I think they've seen
and-
it all.
Unless she popped out of the water minus her head, like there's not going to be much you can do.
Like a shark attached to the top of her.
It's just like in Among Us, it's just a bone. Like you see, like
Oh my god.
I mean, but concentrate. I would say she should. Tony should concentrate on the positive.
Yes.
What happened was absolutely hysterical.
Yes.
And can absolutely be enjoyed by your entire family except for your wife for the next like 100 years. Like that is great. Like you know.
You get it, but okay. I need to sympathize with the wife a little bit here. So her top, if her top came off, I'm assuming she lost
Wait,
it.
wait, Tony.
It's not like
Did,
she had
did
it.
Tony opt for the video? Did he opt for the video?
You can
If so,
opt for
can you
parasailing
send it
video.
to
That's
us?
true. I'm assuming the top is gone.
Send it to us.
So she send it to us.
Oh. Yeah. If they opt, Tony. If
Yeah.
they opted for the, if you guys opted for
Video experience.
the video package, the only way that I think I can truly objectively like read the situation is if I see the video. So if you could please send it.
You're up to something.
I'm curious.
Yep.
And that's on. No, I mean, for reference and for yeah. I mean,
Yeah. So I did. So
I don't know, like how much money? What was the angle? I don't know.
I'm getting back to Tony's wife's
know?
plight, right? So she lost her top. So that doesn't mean she has it in her hand, can put it back on. It is gone in the ocean somewhere. So she is topless
Right,
right,
it is
now, right?
blown away. Yeah.
So
that's awful.
her what are the kids ages 12 and 14-year-old kids seeing their mom topless, right? The guys in the boat are
Right.
seeing her topless, and she has no way to cover herself. She got to do this basically, right? Or the hands, or however you want to do it, right?
Right.
I assume maybe they're towels. I assume you bring towels on the parasailing boat.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
they
yeah,
do,
yeah.
right? So fine,
Yeah,
she gets back on.
I've
She's
been
topless.
parasailing, and they're definitely towels.
Being embarrassed and feeling humiliated is a reasonable reaction to that, So, I mean, but again, I think you need to sympathize with her, Tony. You need to say, you need to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think what Tony's really saying is that, like, while he finds it funny, I'm sure, I assume, Tony, that you're not being a complete and utter dick, like,
Right.
to your wife about the whole thing.
Right.
But that said, trying to sue the company just objectively, like, if you can convince her it's not going to go anywhere and you're probably going to throw away good money,
Yes.
like, and there's no point in doing that.
Yes.
It's like, there's no, nothing, you didn't get hurt or whatever. And so, like, there's not, you can say, oh, well, I was like, emotionally scarred from the experience, but like with all the
Right.
waiver and stuff, and then basically indemnifying themselves like with like 64 pages of,
Exactly.
I don't care if you're, as I said, if your head pops off, maybe,
You'd have
we give you a refund.
right. You'd have to solidly prove harm was caused, and you would have to also prove that there was
Negligence.
deliberate willful negligence. Exactly, which I don't believe you have
Right.
either of those
Well-
things.
Well, there's different things. I mean, there's negligent, and then there's, I mean, there's different levels, but still, yeah. But when you sign the waiver, that right there, like, you're gonna waste your money. So just
Exactly.
maybe use this as an opportunity and set up your wife on OnlyFans. Maybe this is something that I don't know. I don't. That's
I don't
no,
think
I don't.
I get the feeling shit out for that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Some of the few words that
I don't know
Tony
why.
said to us.
I don't know. I didn't. I take that back.
You're really interested in Tony's wife.
I don't. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'd still send us the video, please. But,
Clearly.
yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah, Tony. So you got to keep the down low about yes, you found it hysterical. Save that for when you're with your buddies. When you're with her, you need to be supportive and you need to be outraged and you need to give her all the support as possible. But you also need to convince her that the legal track is going to go nowhere and that you need to not waste your money doing so.
Yeah. Totally agree.
So there's where we're at because, again, waivers. So, yeah. All right, Tony, hope that helps.
All
Good
right,
luck.
that was question 5.
Good luck in the situation. You're probably never going to go parasailing again.
You know, but that's, you know, I think going parasailing once is enough, really. You know, as experiences go.
I enjoyed it. I did it twice. I think I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've done it twice as well,
Yeah.
just because of the opportunity and who was around. But
I was surprised. Yeah, exactly. I was surprised. When you're all the way up, it's incredibly peaceful. I would have thought it would have been like roaring winds. You know what I mean? But it's like,
oh no, not at all.
Just like a
yeah,
like,
it's
yeah,
you know, right.
Pretty cool. So, all right, Tony, there you go. Take that advice for what it's worth. All right, hey, dude, it's time for the speed round.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, I think you're up.
Nice.
So let me get our timer set
Yeah.
up here, as we know that the timer is very
right.
important because we don't mess around. We're going to give you 60 seconds on the clock. Let's see, 60 seconds on my clock. Let's see. Oh, I see what I did there. I gotta do 1 minute. Doesn't let me do 60 seconds. That's cool. 0. All right, cool. We have 1 minute on the clock. So, the way this works is that you're gonna get 5 rapid fire questions, Green Pants, and that you need to answer them as best you can. And
Yep.
the we'll do a deep dive after, you know, if there are any details.
Yeah.
But yep. All right. So the timer will start after I finish reading the first question. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Here we go. First question. Where would you like to time travel? Back to the past or to the future?
If I went to the future, there might not even be an atmosphere. So the past, definitely the past. Even though I go crazy.
I got it. What movie's plot changes entirely only by changing one letter in the title?
Oh, Womb Raider. No. Chitty Chitty Gangbang. Schindler's Lisp.
What's happening?
Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo. Or Transformers.
Okay. Next question.
Okay, moving on. Yeah.
You nailed that one.
That's
What-
great. I love that question.
What are the 2 totally normal things that become really weird if you do them back to back?
Oh, when you ask everyone for a moment of silence and then you fart really loudly, like that, or wait, if you eat Cheetos and then immediately jerk off, like that. Those 2 things.
Okay. If life is a video game, what cheat code would you want to use most? Or
Up,
running
up,
short
down,
on
down,
time?
left, right.
All right, correct.
Select start. The Konami code.
Got it. All right, who would be next to you on a first class flight, and what would you ask them?
How the fuck did I get in this first class seat? And aren't
That's okay.
first class seats a huge amount of money? How did I afford this first class seat?
I see. Okay,
Why am I
good.
here?
No, that's a good question. That's a good answer. Okay, let's unpack this one. So,
It would pop in my head.
yeah, time travel in the past. Time travel in the past. That's a reasonable answer because of the point you raised. Because if you go to the future, there may be no future. So,
Right. Like I really don't know. Like I don't even want to go like, oh, a year in the future. It could be really bad. I don't know.
Exactly. And what is there a particular point in the past you would go to?
As I don't. Yeah. Well, see, what would happen is I would end up becoming some sort of a mad hermit that's like prophesizing about like just being like, okay, guys, climate change. It's a thing. We
Right.
can totally stop this like now. Like right. It's
Right.
so early.
Right.
And no one will listen to me, and I will go
Correct.
completely insane.
Correct.
And
Would you like?
It'll be a shotgun mouth situation. Like,
And there we go. Would
there
you,
it is.
would
You
you
wanted
like-
it. You got it.
would you- I didn't
If
want
you
it.
want-
Just to be clear,
If you
I didn't
wanted
want
me to put a
it.
shotgun in my I don't know. So I'm just saying
I didn't
that
want it.
shotgun in my mouth. There you go.
Oh boy.
Found it.
And so, what would you like? Do something like try to stop 9/11, which you could feasibly
Yeah,
do.
I don't know.
You
Right?
could do
Yeah.
it. right? You would just need to go. You know the airline. You would just need to go on that plane on that day, right?
No, you wouldn't even need to go on the plane. You would just need to
Call.
uh you would need to basically
Yeah.
alert them at the
Right.
like just call it in before the planes take off.
Right.
If it just never let it happen at all, you know. But then of course then you have the whole thing like the entire past is now
Right.
changed. So what would happen? A butterfly effect.
Especially for an event that, I mean, beyond butterfly, like, right, butterfly effect to an extreme,
But
right?
you-
So
oh,
this
no,
is an event
well,
that
yeah, it
literally
would be
changed the world, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Well, one of them. Yeah.
yeah. Wait, what? One of the events.
I said,
okay.
well, no.
I meant one of the
One of
worlds.
the events that changed the world. Oh no, yeah.
Definitely.
It was like when Krakatoa exploded. It was like the loudest sound ever made, or whatever, and
Right.
it was just.
Yeah, I think I determined that, like, because I would find that, like, there was a part of the past that I would find intriguing, but, like, in general, I find it very frustrating because the world went a lot slower back then. Like, because there's things of
did.
technology that we just immediately depend on that we can do to rapidly get information and get through our day and that kind of thing. And it's like,
People also often spent a lot more time bored. Like there was a lot more
Yeah.
downtime boredom
Yeah.
where people just sat around like playing games or did whatever because it was
Right.
like there wasn't technology or there just wasn't that much to do.
agreed.
But
Agreed. So what was the
Anyway.
was number two was the the movie plot changes by changing one line. What did you say? The Shaw Spank Redemption?
no.
What did you say?
No. Is that yours? I mean, I know.
think
No,
it
there's so
is.
many. Well, Chitty Chitty Gangbang.
Chitty Chitty Gangbang. That's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Schindler's Lisp.
With yes,
Binding Nemo makes a very different film.
bondage film. Yes.
I think I said Transformers. Not sure exactly what that is, but it's definitely different. Or Womb Raider with
Womb Raider,
Angelina
got it.
Jolie, like that. Yeah, it'd be a very different movie.
Got it. It would be. I would probably enjoy watching Angelina Jolie in that role. But yes.
I couldn't imagine what Womb Raider means. So.
Right. Right. And the normally things that would be weird if you do back to back. Oh, jerking off in Cheetos. That was an excellent answer, actually. I believe that one's correct. I gotta give you that.
Yeah. It is. That is objectively correct.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. For sure. And your cheat code was a good one. Very good. Up, up, down, down, up, up.
Yeah. So that up down left right, like it's probably the most famous code.
Code
It's
ever.
it's called the Konami code.
Right.
And I always thought it was the Contra code to get like 30 extra lives.
Yes.
But while it does do that, it actually does something in over 100 games.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like it was basically put in by one of the programmers that wanted to make the game easier for himself, almost like trying to put it in a god mode or whatever. And so it's something that he just, because it was easy for him to remember, and he just put it into like all the games that he worked on. And so that's why it just did different stuff, but
That's
basically
cool.
gave you massive advantages,
That's pretty
so.
cool. The only cheat code I ever really used was, remember the original SimCity
Yeah.
game, like the old school one? It was like there was something you could type. I don't remember what it was, but you literally type it, because the game's normally a mouse and click one, but you could actually type in the keyboard. If you type a certain word, I don't remember exactly what it is, that it would add like $10,000 to your money, and you could just do it multiple
Oh,
times.
okay.
But every time you
That
did
would
it,
be awesome.
there was a percentage risk of an earthquake, right? So it was kind of to deter
Oh.
you from doing, because of wreck your city. But what I would do was, as soon as I started the world, before I put down a single building, I would do it 10 times to get a bunch of
Right.
cash in the bank. Earthquakes don't break anything, there's nothing there yet. And then I would build.
Right.
I kind of felt it was like an accelerator, because you're like having to
Right.
wait just to make $1,000 to make
Oh,
a
yeah,
police
yeah, yeah.
station, or whatever it was, right? It was like,
Right. Oh yeah. No, I remember it was like, it's like, okay, now I have a factory. Now I have
Right.
now I have a fire station. Now I need a hospital. Now I need I mean,
people got to get to work, they want roads. It's like, what the hell?
like I can't imagine I know that's a huge thing, like fully immersive games,
Yeah.
but it's like there's so much going on. Like I can't imagine like being able to get into, like, having the time to be able to do that.
Right.
But
Sure.
and they even have cheat codes anymore. I mean, I like,
I don't know. There's a lot of things
mean,
that stop you from cheating
yeah.
with all the online.
Because you're like
play now.
because you've downloaded the game, and so it's got, but I guess, I mean, I'm sure, I'm actually, what am I, of course the internet is out there, there is something.
It's true,
yes.
but I think it's more baked in now. Like, I've noticed, I'm a big gamer, so I think a lot of games that I play are like you change the difficulty. Like if you change down to easy, then it's kind of like what a
Right.
cheat code used to be. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, where it's like a walkthrough.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Story mode they'll call it or something.
Story
You know
mode.
what I mean?
Oh, so yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that,
So you can see, like, I just want to see what's supposed to happen because I cannot get through the seventh boss. Like, I
Right.
just
Exactly. I want to watch the cinematics and being someone involved,
yeah,
but I don't.
like
wanna,
I want to
otherwise-
be, I want to be impressed the fact that like Brad Pitt is somehow in this game or whatever. Because
Right.
like,
Exactly. So that's an option. And the first class flight. Yeah, your response was who would buy a first class ticket? That's a pretty good answer because turns out first class fares are extremely expensive. Like
yeah, they're like
ridiculously
$4,000 or
so.
$5,000.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
ludicrous. Like when I used to travel back and forth from the United States to Europe a
I
lot.
remember that for work. yeah.
And like at the time a regular economy class ticket, let's say just like was like about like $650 for for international
To
ticket.
go somewhere like London
Like-
or Paris or
to,
something.
to do the standard like
Mhm.
New York, Frankfurt, Amsterdam, Paris, like any
Wow.
of the hubs, any of the hub cities, or it could be Heathrow, whatever too. Around $650. You could get business class for like 1,800.
Yeah.
So it's like which, and then first class was like 4,000.
Yeah.
It's like,
I-
what are you doing?
I know. I think most
Like-
airlines these days, by the way, have merged their business class and first. Like I don't. First
Oh,
class
right. I
isn't
think- yeah,
a
I
thing
think you're
that
right.
much
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
So business class is kind of like what
Yeah.
first class used to be, which is still, but it's still ridiculous. You're right. It's like I
Yeah.
did it. I did it once. So we went. It was a trip to Ireland, and my wife managed to swing it. And the way we did it was I think it was Aer Lingus, but they did a
Oh.
bidding system. But basically, if the seats weren't sold, you could bid on a first class seat. It was business class seat technically, and
Well, of course, because it's the Irish airline. So of course, like my people would make. There probably was drinking involved as well.
maybe I don't know.
Like,
but
"Oh,
the
hey,
thing
everyone.
is like
One of you is going to move up to first class. We'll see what happens.
that's right. But basically, they
We'll
take
throw a bunch of numbers into the box.
Oh, don't you-
that'd be awesome.
don't you know? Right?
I love Aer
basically,
Lingus. Oh, so
they,
awesome.
they take the top bid and you get the first class
Mhm.
seat. So if nobody else bids, like minimum bid was like $200. So my wife's like, I'm gonna bid $200. So she did, and we got it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Because nobody else bid because they figured, oh, why bother? Or
Right.
whatever reason,
Someone's gonna
right?
put down
So
500, but they
we were
whatever
in
it
the
was they
whole
wanna pay.
freaking like the pod where you could lay flat, and like I had the
Oh.
warm towel was glorious, and I had a full infotainment system, and like they serve you. The
Did you like lay
drinks
down
and,
pretty
like,
much?
Oh yeah, I've slept. It was great, and you get your own pillow, your own blanket, your own eye mask, and earphones. You get a little goodie bag like
Yeah.
you get the Oscars, kind of thing. It's like
I guess it's one of those things that's like
it was great.
almost like if you have that money,
Right.
are you flying commercial that you're just paying like?
I mean,
But I guess
private
there's
planes are
there's
crazy.
that.
Yeah, private planes are a
Right,
whole
so,
nother
yeah.
level crazy, right? So
There's
if you're,
that-
if you're
there's
in
that-
that middle rich, where you're like not private plane rich, but you're like
Yeah,
beyond
you're
normal
like
people rich.
millionaire rich,
Yeah,
like, or like enough where dropping 10 grand on a flight is
Right.
fine.
Right. I mean, some people use their frequent traveler points too, which is an option, right? If you fly a lot for work, you put all the work travel on your card and then use those points
Right.
to upgrade yourself for your personal travel business class, right? Option 2.
Right, but that's like back in the day, like when I used to do this travel, it was 20 years ago, and I haven't traveled for work, then since COVID. Now there's almost no travel ever.
Right.
Like it's like
So it's less for sure.
so
Or some people do. Some people
yeah,
do,
I don't have a
right?
lot of points. Oh yeah. No. I mean, there's still people there's still plenty of people going to hotels and flights. Like they're actually, I think they're not quite back at pre-19 levels. I don't think, but like it's pretty close, or maybe it is. I don't know. It could be
Right.
over.
I told my wife this, and I told some other folks this, is like if I wound up, being independently wealthy and was super rich, it's like
Mhm.
I have zero desire to change how I live, right? Like I don't need a big house, I don't want a stupid, whatever. I don't need a pool or
Right.
no crazy luxuries, right? The one thing I would pay for is
A
business class
pool.
travel. I would pay business class travel wherever I went. That's the one thing I would pay for because commercial air travel sucks.
It is an absolute nightmare. Like
Yes.
that.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is horrible.
You know,
Absolutely. So I would absolutely spring the 10 grand for the.
like
If I had the money to burn, I would do it. That's the
American
one
air
thing I would do.
travel, like American travel, especially like
Yes.
U.S. carriers, because capitalism, we like to have like no rules at all, or like passenger bill of rights type of stuff. So like it can just completely screw you over. Like
Yes.
there's so much like stuff that just doesn't happen on the international carriers. So
Yes.
if you're flying on Lufthansa or whatever, like it like I was amazed the first time I needed to like change a flight or whatever, and like they're like, okay, wait,
like,
you're not gonna like give me shit about it, like
Right.
you're not gonna
charge
like
me
you're not gonna make me
$1,000 to
spend
change my
45
flight.
minutes.
Right.
Like I'm gonna have to talk to like 3 levels of management.
Exactly.
Like-
Exactly. Nice. Oh, and the other thing too that's nice, the business class, is that you get to go to the lounge in the airport, like the premium lounge.
Oh, because it come with a ticket. Okay.
That's nice. I tell you, the full
Yes,
hors d'oeuvre
I-
setup, appetizers, drinks, couches that you can chill on.
I have been in many of the lounges.
Super nice. Love the lounge.
'Cause a lot of times we went somewhere, there was always somebody who had lounge things, so
Yeah.
we could all just go in.
It's total
Like-
classism, by the way, because clearly it's the haves and the have-nots, right? So that part's awful
Yeah,
and horrible.
it's like,
But being in the
Right.
lounge is great once you're in.
yeah,
I have to say.
it's great to be rich. I mean, that's
Yeah.
money cannot buy happiness. Well, yes, it
Yes.
can. It can probably buy. It can buy at least a little bit or something. Or it can buy. It can let you do the things that make you happy.
Right.
So
Yeah. Oh, and
Yeah.
in Somnolent Life, just to chime in, if you're independently wealthy, you have your own private plane and chef. True, but yeah, we were kind of talking about the different levels of rich. Like that's like absurd
Right.
rich. If you're like medium rich, you can kind of afford the
Yeah.
first class seat, but not a private plane because like private planes are so obscenely expensive. It's
you're not like Taylor
ridiculous.
Swift or
Right.
like
Or Bob
Bill Gates,
Kraft
going
or-
around
yeah,
or whatever.
something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. But yeah, like someone who's I don't know, even like a CEO, but let's say for I don't know, like flies with his family to Hawaii for vacation.
Yes.
Okay, they all fly first class. Because
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
makes 175 times the amount of his lowest paid employee. Because that is how we roll.
Let's go capitalism. Oh, that's true. You can charter. Someone says you can charter private flights. That is true, and
Yeah, you
I
can.
don't know what the cost model
Yeah.
on that is. I also wonder. Someone was telling me about
So the
people do,
carbon
like,
footprint is huge, and like I would feel bad
that's true
actually.
too. That's true too.
I would actually feel bad to be like, okay, 'cause, like
It's
people
excess.
make
like,
fun
why
of
we're
like
doing excess.
yeah, just being like, but
Yeah. The
but, like at the same time, I would do it because I want to go places
Right.
and I have the money
and that's the economy.
Yeah,
Yeah, and there was the oting too. The
maybe okay. I've changed my mind. I would go. Yeah, I would.
You would
If like
you
if I
would
had
do
the
it?
money,
Okay.
I would go. Oh, so I would if I was suddenly on a first class seat, I would turn to the person next to me and say, "Isn't it great to be a have?"
Yes.
Like that's just to see what they see what they said.
That there's the conditions for the French Revolution part. That's what that is.
Let them eat cake.
Let them eat
I mean,
cake.
What could possibly go wrong?
I would think also. I know we're talking about this one a lot, but I think this is the
All of a sudden,
topic.
we're in a
The,
Snowpiercer situation.
Yes, but the I'm sure this exists. Is that kind of think like a timeshare for a private plane? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it
Well, like a
absolutely
bunch of
does.
people pull up. Maybe you have like
Yes.
50 people that buy
Yes,
a
yes, yes.
share in the
It
plane, and then you do
absolutely
scheduling.
does.
That's got to be a
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Got to be a thing.
I actually, now that I think about it, like I know it is like from
Now that I think about it, like
people who've told me that they've like or they knew someone or whatever that bought into it. But yeah, it's similar to like the breaking up the season ticket thing, where like it's super expensive to get season tickets to like see the Patriots play or
Right.
see the
Doesn't belong good seats.
does anyone watch the New York Jets play? I don't know.
I don't know.
But
Wow,
yeah, no, nothing.
for sure.
But yeah, at one of the other sports stadiums,
No, absolutely.
the one where the people put the
Right.
cheese on their heads or whatever. Yeah, like
A lot of classism. The haves and the have-nots. My goodness.
I mean, but yeah, and it's hard to resist.
It
It's
is.
like, well, this is great,
you mean
and-
when you're
and
a
they-
have,
and they
it's when you're
and they do a lot to like isolate you so that it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
you don't
removed from the
um,
unwashed masses,
right,
essentially.
exactly, right.
Yep. There you go.
the masses.
Oh my god. So on that note, I think we wrapped up. This was great. I think very successful.
Yeah, we've learned. I think I've learned a lot today. I think I helped myself.
Every day's a learning experience, and you nailed that speed round. Very excited about that. That was really good.
Oh yeah, those were. I don't know, for whatever reason, those were like
A lot of softballs for you. I think.
they were also exactly. Like I mean, do you think I haven't thought about like what two things going together would be like really awkward? Like I've obviously thought about that before.
Clearly, right? Cool. All right, so I'm gonna post in the chat for everyone who's in chat. This is the link to the question form. So if you have questions to submit, hop in there. Send us questions. We like your questions are our lifeblood. I mean, this is the thing, right? We love them.
Yep.
We love them. And hey, Tony, if you're out there,
we cannot do this without you.
We literally cannot do it without you. And Tony, if you're out there, send us that video because I think
because I really want to see it.
Yeah,
I would like to see that video.
Green Pants, it's all about.
Yeah, if I'm being radically honest, I want to see what your wife looks like without a top, and I don't feel guilty about that. I would like to see
right through
that.
the pretense. You just went right for what you were going for.
I want to see that. I think that's okay.
Hey,
Said it. So
great. So with that said, we're gonna sign off. So Green Pants, pleasure as always. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Always an awesome time.
It's good. So we're going to be here next week at 9:30 U.S. Eastern Time. We're going to be answering your questions again, so please get those questions in. And then on Sundays is gaming day. So 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be gaming, streaming some live gaming and having conversations, having fun. So come on and check it out. Again, all follows are appreciated, so go click the follow button down there. Check out our Discord server. Come on and say hi, and you can chat with us. And that's it. Until next time, like I said, we're just here to help.
Yeah, we are here to help, and I think we have, even if it's only ourselves.
At a minimum. At least we helped 2 people today.